Good morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my animal spirituality video for Tuesday, January the 29th, 28th. That's a moment every time when I think I know the date, and sometimes I don't. But those are the least important things. The things we have to remember are what God does in our life and what we can do with our life. Little things have to roll off our back. So that was a timely little situation there, just briefly. But it is something that reminds us to remember and focus on the priorities. And that's what I'd like to do today, looking at what I call the two Daniels. So if you know the book of Daniel was written thousands of years ago, and Daniel was a prophet. He was a young man, and he struggled in a world that was filled with a lot of turmoil. A lot of turmoil by the rulers of that time, a lot of turmoil and stress just going on in the world thousands of years ago. Does that sound familiar? It should. That's what goes on today. And because of the human condition, that is what will go on every day in this world. But Daniel the prophet had an answer. Daniel the prophet always believed that through focused prayer and actions of his life, that he would realize that God is in control. God, the universe, Jesus, whatever you want to phrase it as, most importantly, is in control, regardless of what goes on. What goes on is part of the human condition. What we can put ourselves into the world we want to be in, is completely up to us. And Daniel the prophet did that very well. So much so that those who opposed him threw him into the lion's den. He survived. He survived not because the lions were out to get him. He survived because God was in control. And that was another reminder for him. Regardless of the stressors that come on us, on the world situations, God remains in control. And Daniel had many dreams. Those dreams were interpreted as the turmoil and stress that was going on in the world. And it was a reminder to him, and also a reminder that God remained in control. Yes, and he always will. Well, thousands of years later, along came Daniel the Beagle. You may know Daniel the Beagle. I called him my pal because I loved him so much. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, but Daniel the Beagle survived the gas chamber. He survived the gas chamber, which was and still is one of the things in this world that creates turmoil, creates stress, creates everything that goes against God, is created by the human condition. But Daniel survived it. Just like Daniel the prophet survived the lion's den, Daniel the Beagle survived the gas chamber. And I watched him for 10 years go on and do amazing things because I knew deep in my heart that Daniel knew what went on that day in Florence, Alabama. He knew what went on, and he knew what was possible, and he knew he could be a part of it. And I always said that Daniel the prophet had dreams, and Daniel the Beagle had dreams too. And Daniel the Beagle's dream was to have this world be a more peaceful, compassionate place and respectful to all creation, regardless of the turmoil, and focusing on God in charge. I had a rescue for several years with some awesome people called Daniel's Dream. And that's why I named it what it was. And we saved a lot of dogs in need during our time together. I am now thinking of ways to resurrect Daniel's dream in a way to continue to bring this message, this core message that Daniel the prophet and Daniel the Beagle lived, and what their mission was all about, which was to do just that and make a world more peaceful and compassionate, even in the turmoil and stress, recognizing and focusing on God and what we can do with our lives. Stay tuned. I really want to make something with this. I have my called my last effort. It may not be my last effort, but it's certainly one that's coming towards the end of my time of being focused and working in my life. But I feel it's possible. And if you feel you want to be a part of it and you feel that you agree with me, reach out. I'd be more than happy to speak with you. But Daniel's dream must continue. And when it continues, so much good can happen for ourselves and for all creation. Well, my friends, that's my message for you on this Tuesday. As always, I hope it was helpful. I always welcome your comments and your thoughts. I welcome your participation in something that we can dream about together and then have some positive dreams for all creation. I want to wish you all a wonderful Tuesday, and I look forward to hopefully being back with you tomorrow for a scripture reflection. Take care, everyone.